Welcome back. Welcome back. I just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge Leandria. She's a great individual and an awesome social worker. She's the one who introduced me to travel social work and kind of held my hand until my first assignment was completed. Girl, I acknowledge all that you've done for me and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good day. I'm back with another video. It's been a while, but I'm here to talk about my first travel social work experience. So if you don't know, I am in a wheelchair. And so me making the decision to come on this assignment was a very big decision for me. First of all, when you take a travel assignment, you have to be ready to just get up and go. They give you, when I got this call, I believe it was on a Wednesday, and they wanted me to fly out on the Thursday. And I asked them to extend it to Saturday, which they agreed to. And then I got a call the following day, which was Thursday, and they told me, nope, you need to come in on Friday. So me, my husband, and my daughter, we packed our stuff up and we had to fly out the very next day. The company, the agency that I was with, they actually booked my ticket for me, and then my husband and daughter booked their ticket on the same exact flight, so they came. The reason for him coming was, so that he could assist me and support me in any way that I need to be supported. The assignment that I got assigned to is New York City, which if you know anything about New York, they are very ADA aware and available in that sense. So transportation, I wasn't sure if the Uber rides, if I was going to readily be getting there was going to be readily available any wheelchair transportation, and that was like one of the biggest things for me. So if my husband was here, he can break down my chair, put it in the car, and assist me there, and then go back to the hotel. Fortunately enough, they have Uber drivers they had so many wheelchair accessible vehicles that was available. So that's one. I don't know about other states. I can only talk about New York City, but they had so much. And actually, as of right now, Uber drivers are so over concentrated in the city that the only way you could get on or you could be accepted for Uber to become an Uber driver is if you have a wheelchair accessible vehicles. So there's more wheelchair accessible vehicles than not. So I was definitely blessed in that aspect. I wanted to do this video from before. Unfortunately, the time that I had to work was 6 days a week. You're there about 13 hours a day, and then you're commuting, in between. So I really just had time to get up, go to work, come home, eat, sleep, and bathe, or whatever, in somewhere in that sense. But I really didn't have any time. It took a few weeks for my body to adjust, and then it was in the middle of winter, so I had one day off, and on that day it always snowed. It was extremely freezing, so I really didn't do anything for the first couple of weeks. I think I went to my best friend and her sister's house for New Year's, and for Christmas we spent it over there, which was good. And then more so as of lately, I've been going out a lot more, probably a lot more than I should have, with the doctors, the site directors, the social worker. This experience has been nothing but great. I cannot say that's going to be your case for your experience, but this one has been great. So basically what I'm here doing is I'm working in an isolation hotel, and we basically people that tested positive for COVID or have been exposed, the city is paying for them to come into these hotels. Everything is free of charge. They get, initially when we came, it was 10 days of isolation, and when the new CDC guidelines came out, they only gave guests 5 days, and then it varies. If they were immune compromised, they would get 20, and if they lived in a congregate setting, they would get 10. But needless to say, they got about 5 days of isolation. They got 3 meals a day, snacks. They got smoke break or fresh air break twice a day. We did all of the discharge planning, arranging transportations if they needed shelters. We arranged that. We gave them resources for Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, abuse hotlines, different things depending on what the guests needed. But anyhow, we facilitated those resources to the guests. So the site that I work on, when I initially came, I started at one hotel. and they started opening up several hotels around. And from that one hotel, from the minute I got there, the social workers there were nothing but excellent. My experience, my if I could give them a rating, I'm gonna definitely say it was 10. There were no, clashes of personality or anything like that. We worked as a strong team. So a few weeks after me getting there, I did get transferred to another hotel. I was kind of like a little butthurt because change is difficult for me. Adjusting is kind of a little bit difficult for me. But after the first day, I was just like, this is where I need to be. I am blessed that I was put into a position where I had another excellent team. And actually that team was just like, the experience there was so much more awesome than where I initially started out at. I worked among really great site directors. The doctors, we are like, woo, we were awesome. I learned a lot from the doctors and the social workers that I worked with. I'm gonna just give y'all a shout out, Natalie and Victor. There have been nothing but great. So Natalie is actually, she's my best friend's sister, but she's like my sister too. So when I heard about this position, I was able to get her on, and we both worked it together. And that was even cooler to work so closely, 12, 13 hours a day with someone that I consider as a family. And then the other social worker, Victor, he's our brother now. He just doesn't know it. We're actually planning on going to vacation, me, him, and the doctors, and my husband and our spouses in the next upcoming weeks. So, so I got into a facility, and basically because I was the first social worker there, I pretty much created my own procedures of doing things, and my site directors backed me up on it. And the social workers came in and they kind of followed that lead, and we worked so great as a team. I have nothing negative to say about it. So I'm gonna try to answer as much questions as I can think of in my head that was asked by other social workers. So when I first came, I came in. They had an orientation actually inside of the hotel, which they did pay for. And that was about 2 or 3 hours. They got us acclimated to the system. We had to do HIPAA training. And then we were released to go upstairs for the rest of the night. And actually the weekend that I came, I had that Saturday and that Sunday off. And then I started that Monday. The company that I work for, they booked my flight. They paid for my hotel and my Uber transportations. They gave us a stipend weekly that is tax-free, and they call that per diem, that you get in addition to your paycheck. So, every agency is different, but with ours, they paid for everything except for your food, and then they gave a substantial amount for food weekly. It's kind of great. The food where I'm at, so where I'm located at, is right next to Manhattan. I'm more of a urban girl, suburban girl. So I used to live in like Freeport, Long Island, and I did come from Brooklyn to Freeport, Long Island. And Freeport, Long Island, like, it was a little bit more laid back. The houses not, on top of each other. So this did feel kind of like claustrophobic-ish. And it was just a bit too much. Like, I've been in Houston for 5 or 6 years now. So, geographically, I'm adjusted to that life in comparison to this, robust life. But it was great. Where I'm at is the city of Queens, pretty much. The food has been ridiculously expensive. Between me and my husband, we spend so much on food. The Uber Eats, the fees, everything is just expensive. And the hotel that we're in, they gave us, let me try to show you. This is what we have as a fridge. Not really much of a fridge. We call this an ice box. So you see this little thing right here? Yeah, that was a fridge. So it was difficult. I've been eating, I must have gained a good 10 pounds since being here, because all I'm eating is fast food. When I came, I'm gonna admit, I started eating, I missed Chinese food and pizza from New York and Junior's Cheesecake. And so when I came, I had that almost every day, and you could tell. Look at all this double chin, everything. You could kind of tell. So now my body is craving just fruits and vegetable. And really, you can't store anything here. This is literally an ice box that can, you could probably put a leftover meal if you have, and a few drinks in the fridge, and that's what's gonna happen. We did get smart one day, and my best friend, she's living in New York still. One of them is living in New York still, and so she go grocery shopping for me, and because my daughter's here, we've been getting like snacks and like noodles and macaroni, little things that she can eat. And the other day I got like a whole carton of egg, my spinach and mushroom, and my my bell pepper, onions, and everything with some salsa and sour cream, and all of that fit in the fridge. Nothing else could fit. But my husband was making me omelets, in the night, instead of me going next door to buy it, because when I bought it, it was like at the bare minimum $14 for an omelet. And so that kind of like helped a little bit, but we figured this out towards the end. I'm gonna show you this pot that we got. So this is, hold on, and this is gonna be convenient. You have to find little ways. We have this little pot right here. Hold on. So we do have this, which is this toaster, and this is an electrical pot. Okay, this is an electrical pot. Basically, you plug it into the wall, and it came with like a little. Oh, let me try to get it. Hold on. Let me get this for you. Like this little spatula. So we were able to like make. Hold on. Let me get back to put this phone down. Yeah, we were able to make like little different meals in it, or warm up food. When I used to get my little Jamaican food, instead of it going inside the microwave, he would put it in the pot. I had some, we went out to eat for my birthday, and I had crab legs. And I'm gonna try to insert all the pictures of all of the things that I did. But he was able to throw some butter in that pot, spin it around, and voila, we had food to eat. Normally that's how we warmed up our food. They do have a microwave in the lobby of the hotel. I don't know why you don't have it in the room. I think a fridge and a microwave should be standard, but unfortunately it's not, and so that made things a little difficult. We have a little, let me see. I'm gonna try to show y'all as much. Now, I'm not no photography, and I'm definitely not no Instagrammer person or whatever, so this video might look a little ghetto, but I'm just trying to give y'all the raw deal. So this is the room that we have, and what we have is a 2-bedroom. This is a wheelchair accessible room, right? So it has enough space to where that's a hallway. Yeah, you see over there, and this little spot right here. So this is a wheelchair accessible room. When I first came in, oh my gosh, for the first 3 weeks, I was literally in, I requested a wheelchair accessible room, which they gave me. But what I didn't realize is that there's different kind of ADA rooms. And so the one that I had just had a roll-in shower is what made it like ADA. But there's room, and I couldn't, so that room, it had a rolling shower. The bathroom was pretty, decent size, but that was it. I couldn't even pass in this little passageway to even get from one bed to the next. It was just like, all right, you come in, you get on the bed, and that was pretty much it. My sister, my family came, my boys came, so I'll go back to that too. But anyway, my boys came about 3 weeks in, and my sisters and my nieces. And when my sister was leaving, she had a talk with the woman at the front desk, and she said, my sister can't even assess the room. It is extremely tight, and she needs a bigger room. And then they, the lady at the front desk was really nice. Everybody actually down there was really, really nice. And they moved me into a bigger room. And once they moved me into a bigger room, an actual wheelchair accessible room, so much, I felt so much free. I felt so happy. I was just so happy because I could actually turn my wheelchair in the room. I couldn't turn it before. I was able to move back and forth. It was just a different feeling, because I was struggling the first couple of weeks, struggling in there. Could not take out, my husband had to just take out my clothes every morning. It was no room for anything. But I didn't realize that there were different kind of rooms that were available when it comes to ADA situations. So yeah, I got into a bigger room. They were very flexible on that. Let me see what I'm trying to think what else. So okay, so when I came, we came with 2 suitcases and a duffel bag. I'm leaving with 6 suitcases. One thing, if I could tell you, do not overpack, because You're gonna, even though you say, I'm not gonna spend, all of us, when we initially came, said we were not gonna spend, and every last one of us bought stuff while we was here. You know, the days that you're off, you tend to go out, you're gonna do little things. You might order a little, a little shirt here, a little shirt there, whatever. These things add up. So if I can advise anything, you might just want to leave a little room into your suitcase. What happened with me, because I'm in Houston now, I gave away most of my winter stuff. I didn't really have, and then for 5.5 years, I was wearing scrubs. Yeah, it's either scrubs and going out clothes that I had. I barely had any work casual clothes. Here, our dress code was work casual. So as long as you could wear jeans with a nice boots and a nice sweater. So they were kind of flexible on that. There was 1 and 2 times that I did wear sneakers, but my shirt had it was kind of like dressy. They didn't really, they didn't fuss about that at all. And pay, I got paid. My agency, it paid me weekly. Other agencies, they pay bi-weekly. Let me think, what else? Uber Eats on these missions is probably going to be your best friend. Yeah, Uber Eats. Yeah, I spent way too much. We did, like I said, my best friend did come and she shopped for me. And so I had cases of water and sometimes fruits and different little things that was able to stay outside. What else? The laundry. Okay, so they have 2 washing machines and drying. It's kind of annoying because most of the time there was only one working washing machine and one working dryer. And if it was being used, like today, we went downstairs and tried to wash some clothes because we're packing to leave tomorrow. And we have to wait for the person to take their clothes out of the dryer. It's been 2.5 hours now and they still haven't come. So I think my husband just went outside to go get our clothes so that he's just going to hang it up around the room because he doesn't want to wait anymore. What else? I'm trying to think, guys, don't kill me. I'm trying to think of what other questions I can ask or I can answer, per se. So yeah, but anyway, this situation, this whole experience, I've told everyone that I've met, this have been nothing but amazing. This was the best introduction into travel social work. You network while you're here. There's social workers that I spoke to. We have one, I told you his name is Victor, and he is he's gonna be our brother. He just doesn't know it. But he's very, very acclimated into this travel experience, and he have resources, and so he's pulling us into places. There's different contracts when I get back that I can go into. I just have to update my resume because we were working under New York City Health and Hospitals. They put they bar certain things from happening, so I wasn't able to update my resume from my job. But when I get back home, I'm gonna do it. My flight, they did book my flight back, but what I did is I canceled it, and then I'm staying a few extra days so I can spend time with some of my really close friends, and then I'll be home on Tuesday back to see my babies, my boys. And I think I'm gonna stay out for maybe a month and then move on to another project. And I'm so excited. I was so afraid to leave my job. I've been at my job for 5.5 years, and I kid you not, nothing negative to say. All my FAs was extremely, extremely, extremely great. The team that I work with, it was the best team that I could possibly work. It was a very comfortable situation. I was only 10 minutes away from home. My work schedule was extremely flexible. I didn't have a micromanager over my head. Everyone was respectful. We did our job. We got it done, and we kept it pushing. And so therefore it was this, making this decision, I battled with it for so many days and for so many weeks actually, because it was just such a comfortable situation. But once I came here and I seen that, that the opportunities are endless, the pay is 10 times better, and so you gain a sense of greater value for yourself, that you're able to move on to different things, and it's gonna actually be okay. It's gonna be okay, because that's always a thought for me. Can I do this? Can I not do this? Is it gonna be accessible to me? I'm in a wheelchair, so I gotta make sure everything is okay. But honestly, this has been a walk in the park. No, maybe, oh my gosh, this little girl. Okay, back to it. Yeah, this has been an excellent opportunity for me. The only regret that I had was that I've been at my job for so long, and I was not able to give them a 2-week notice, and that kind of bothered me because, you know, my team has always been so respectful and supportive, and I felt in that aspect that I was being unprofessional and I was letting them down. But don't let anything stop you from greatness, from progression, from moving up, from experience, from exploration. Don't allow like little things and fear to stop you from doing it. This may not be for everyone. It may not be, you know, my support system is so great. My mom is home with my boys, and so, you know, they're being well taken care of. I have an older son, and he's driving my husband's car, so he, you know, he's taking his brother for his haircuts, his, you know, karate practices, whatever he needs to do. But everyone worked so well together, and, you know, this is why I was able to do it. If you have small children, it might be hard. I was afraid when I first came here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think my husband and my daughter's not supposed to be here. So I'm like, y'all keep it low key. But honestly, it's not even, they pay for a hotel room and then that's it. They don't bother you or anything. It could be different again at another location. I don't know how rich they are with their rules or whatever, but for me, this experience has been like amazing. And I'm looking forward to, we might be going, I can't say too much about it yet, but if it does happen, we may be going to Michigan. And when we get there, I'm going to be working. I may leave my daughter home and just put her back in daycare. And then my husband is going to go with me. And I think if this comes through, he'll be working out there too. So there's an opportunity for, you know, both parties to work. He did give up his job, you know, just to support me, and I can't thank him enough for that. But yeah, it's been a great run. I've actually, because I've become so accustomed to, like, you know, only sleeping 6 hours a day, if that much. I started actually going out towards the later end of my assignment, and I explored some beautiful rooftop places. I've hung out with the doctors a few times. We celebrated coworker birthdays. We did so much things together. And then, you know, what I can say also too, and I know I'm kind of like jumping around because I just don't have any formula of how to do it. I'm just doing this right now so it could get done before I leave. But what I learned too is that when you're around like different people with different experiences, you start, like, your eyes start opening up to so many things. Like, there's so much endless possibilities to this thing. You know, sometimes, you know, as social workers, you tend to feel like, you know, oh, only the nurses get this opportunity and stuff. No, we do too. And there's a lot. The thing about it is that when you don't know, you don't know. But once you know, there is so much things that we could do. And I was able to also continue my supervision for my C. I don't have my C yet. I do plan on doing therapy once I get it. I got about 6 or 7 more months to go. And so I was able to do that as well. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm sure I'm missing out a lot of things. If you have any questions or any concerns or anything, please feel free to ask. I'm going to try to include some pictures and videos and everything else of things that we did while we was here. I'm not so good with this editing thing, but I'll try my best. And yeah, hit me up, leave a comment at the bottom if you have any questions. I'm sure there's a lot of things I did not answer, and I'll try to get to them. All right, thank you guys. So we are checking out now. This is our whole life, it seemed like, for the past 2 months on this trolley. It's been a good journey, a long journey. Not really long, I'm lying. Say hi, mommy. Where is it? Hi, say hi, mama. Say hi. Say we going bye-bye now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one for the count. Hubby, you gonna say hi? He don't really like the camera. The camera's not his thing. But little do he know he's gonna be on it a little bit more often than he anticipates. But anyway, yeah.